Getting a job is not easy. Stop being reactive and start being proactive. Exactly what employers want to know about you.
Hi, g'day and welcome to Ask Timothy C. Today I just wanted to touch on some common mistakes that I find graduates consistently do throughout the job application process. Now the first one is this convinced idea that I'm going to be brilliant at it, I'm going to get a job, I'm entitled to a job once I've got my degree. Now look, I don't need to go over the stats, I'm sure you're aware of it. If you're not, then you need to look it up, because there's nothing worse than being naive about the fact that you can look around you in your class and understand that there's far more people in your class alone than there might be jobs in that particular city. Now there's plenty of other training institutions around the world that offer the same course. So we need to get real, we need to understand that this is hard, but we shouldn't have to understand that based on failing the process. Now, I also deal with a lot of great young graduates who are really confident right throughout the university because they're really engaged, they like their subject, they've done really well in their life to date. However, they've also never really dealt with too much adversity. And with the job application process, you often get those people who can go into quite a horrible place because they don't have anyone to turn to when things don't go their way. Now ideally that doesn't happen, but a huge piece of advice I need people to understand is that this process is hard. Much harder than getting told that you need to study this and write me an essay or do me an assignment on this and answer these questions, because you can learn that if you put the time in. But you don't know what you don't know when it comes to the job application process, and I can tell you that for sure you don't know, because you've never done it. So what we need students to understand is that when you're in your second year and your third year, you need to start thinking about the process just like you would if you did an extra study for an exam. Now if you're going for your driver's license, how many people get the keys to a car the first day that they're learning to drive and also be tested? Never. So why are we going into the job application after 4 years or 3 years study and all this money and time and mum and dad and supporting and sacrificing, all this sort of stuff, only to put in zero time or understanding into a CV and application process expecting to get this dream job? You're naive. I was too. And that's what this whole Ask Timothy C is about, is trying to get you to understand that this process is hard. It takes time, it requires work. So that's the first bit. Stop being naive. You're not going to be good at it. And if at the end of the day you look back and you put all this time and effort in, just like you have to get your degree, into the job application process, and you look back and think, well, that was a piece of cake. Great, you've got the job you wanted. That's perfect, everybody wins. But the vast majority of people don't do that. The second common mistake that I find is that people think a CV will get them a job. Forget it. It doesn't. A CV helps you get a job. It's important, yes. It doesn't get you a job. Understand the difference. And the third most common mistake that I find is that people do the same thing over and over with every job application and expect a different result. Don't send the exact same application into BNZ as you would ANZ, as you would ASB. Yes, we understand that you want to work in the banking sector, but give them some respect to understand that you know the difference between one bank and the next. If you don't, then find out. You don't have to apply at that afternoon. You don't have to send in 7 applications that week just to tell mum and dad. Give them all their own respect, and then you will have a better chance of getting a result. There's no guarantees with anything with a job application. There's no hard and fast way of doing it and everyone gets a job. It's different every time, but give it some respect. So you're not as good as you think you are. A CV won't get you a job, and give each individual application the respect it requires.